Coming up, the girl that ate 48 oysters on a first date. I cannot stop thinking about her. I think she's amazing.
Hey, hey, hey!
Ho, ho, ho!
Welcome to a very special episode of Reliable Source.
I'm Jonelle.
And I'm Kirsty, and we're both journalists at Europe's biggest newsroom, BBC News. We work on the TikTok account. We're always looking at the biggest trends, the biggest stories, all of the news that we're obsessed with.
We've been investigating news all year round, but on this episode, we're talking about the most iconic moments of 2023.
So coming up in this end-of-year special, was 2023 the year of the Superfan?
And why do we all get obsessed with boy-girl trends?
So obviously it's Christmas. We've got a little Christmas gift for you guys. Got a special guest, YouTuber Theresa, who I love. I always watch her videos, so I'm actually quite gassed about this one. And she's going to be coming on to join us, talk about the year, talk about our favourite stories. It's going to be really fun. I've got to say, you've got a glow about you, babes. You've got a glow. Just touched down from holiday.
Honestly, I had to have a break. It's been hectic this year.
It really has.
So I was on the beach, many a beach. I'm rejuvenated. You're seeing me in a new form.
You are, and I love it. That's what the Christmas spirit is all about.
It is.
Also, doing like BBC News TikTok, we've been in the most random places this year.
Yeah.
Like, think back, we were in the coronation.
Yeah.
Eurovision, we were reporting Eurovision. There was just so many random places we ended up this year.
You randomly met Tube Girl.
You know, yeah, we had a time.
On the tube.
And I also think 2023 was such a throwback of a year. I feel like this year so many things returned.
What do you mean?
I know you're not as much of a stan as me, but I went to a JLS concert this year. Sorry, but the last time they were out was like 2010. Next thing you know, David Cameron's coming back into number 10. It's a comeback.
Okay, true.
Next thing we got Maya Jama and Stormzy back together.
So wait, do you think we're regressing back to like 2010, to the noughties?
You know, I think it's a coping mechanism.
Do you know what it is?
So
you are
much
right
happened.
though. Y2K is literally
exactly.
so big right now.
Exactly.
Even me, I feel like I was a Y2K baby girl and now I'm like low-key into it again.
Yeah,
like,
we're wearing ballet pumps, Uggs are back. Like, I just think, but after like...
backless everything.
After the pandemic, we've had a couple of years to just readjust and now we're like, whoa, we need to just get back to our comfort zone, you know?
This circles, right? It's not linear. We're not just getting newer. We're circles.
Yeah, nothing's
Most
original.
of the thoughts that we've had, someone thought about it. So maybe we're just at the point where we're coming to another part of the circle and soon, in a couple of months, skinny jeans are back. You're hearing it first here, babes.
Please, no.
Yep. Also, I've been hearing that perhaps next year we might see a reverse of the clean girl aesthetic that you're beautifully demonstrating right now. That's going to be thrown in the bin. Yeah, eyeshadow's coming back.
No.
Sparkles behind the eyes.
Effie from Skin,
Sparkles,
smudgy eyes.
smudging.
No,
People
I can't
say
do that
it's coming
look.
back. And that's actually something I wanted to talk about. Clean girl aesthetic. This year we've seen so many gendered trends just all over the internet. So one has been girl math, which is the trend we spoke about on the podcast before, which is where typically girls will justify impulse spending through this like strange logic. So cash is not money.
Yeah. I actually did this yesterday. Got my Christmas nails done, and they were like, "Oh, it's £23," and I had a £20 note in my purse. I was like, "The nails cost me £3."
Yeah, £3. Girl math.
Girl
but
math.
like, does it reinforce stereotypes? And there is an age-old stereotype that says that women are bad with money.
Yeah.
But not only girl math, the Roman Empire. Women asking men in their lives, you know, what like how often they think of the Roman Empire.
Yeah.
And now the term Roman Empire doesn't only just mean this ancient civilization.
Yeah.
It also means something you think about often. Because they think about it loads.
Yeah. So many trends this year have been like the divide between men and women.
Yeah, exactly.
And it is weird because you would think in society we're becoming more like, oh, like, it doesn't matter what gender you are, but it's actually like, no, we're really dividing ourselves here.
Exactly. But and it's like, is it like, does the Roman Empire also kind of like promote stereotypes as well? Because like people always think that men are just like supposed to be the builders and men are supposed to care about like the roads and like protecting people. Yeah. And then there's another trend this summer, rat girl summer. So we all knew about hot girl summer in 2019. You know that song, Hot
it's
Girl.
It's a hot girl summer. You know you got it. I don't even know the words to that.
Yeah, and that was in 2019. 19, and then now this summer it's so weird, it's changed into something called Rat to Girl, where they're encouraging girls to scurry on the streets and like one of the key things for that trend was eat a lot of food and enjoy it, and I thought that was quite cute, which kind of leads us on to the final trend I want to try to talk about today, which is girl dinner.
Girl dinner. Girl dinner. Girl dinner. That was literally on a loop in my head for probably 2 months.
Yeah. Girl dinner is a trend where people are, instead of eating like proper balanced meals, are having like bits and bobs for dinner. The bits and bobs is a complete variety of different things. So the first video that we ever see by a creator called Olivia Meyer, she basically has like 4 grapes, a couple of crackers, some cheese.
I cannot find the TikTok right now, but a girl just came on here and said how, like, in medieval times, peasants had to eat nothing but bread and cheese and how awful that was. And she was like, that's my ideal meal. This is my dinner. I call this girl dinner or medieval peasant.
I'm not gonna lie, it didn't look good.
Girl dinner, literally.
What's your girl dinner? Do you have one?
Anything you could stick in an air fryer, really, actually.
Yeah,
I'm really bad
they
at it.
transformed girl dinners.
Yeah, sometimes even if it's like, this is really bad, like a frozen pizza, and then I'll just shove it in the air fryer for like 20 minutes.
Mine is chicken noodles with a slice of toast.
Okay.
And then you shovel the noodles onto the toast. Girl dinner.
Girl dinner. The thing about girl dinner is, like, there's been a lot of questions online, a lot of articles, a lot of comments. People have been sharing this a lot. There's over 400,000 videos to that sound, the girl dinner sound, that was made by a creator called Karma Carr. Over 400,000 videos to that song. And because it's blown, and that hashtag has over like 2 billion shares, that hashtag, it's gone quite dark. Some people are saying it's got the potential to be very dangerous. And I did speak to Olivia, the creator, by the term, the creator you just saw in that video, and I asked her, I said, chick, what's going on? What do you think about the trend and the way it's going? Is that how you intended it to be? Here's what she said.
It's been so cool to see all of these conversations come up from this girl dinner. Me standing hair a mess, literally in my like PJs in my kitchen, to birth this word, this phrase into the world, and then see all these conversations that have come of that. If anything, it's a celebration of who you are and how you like to live and exist, whatever that looks like. The term just happened to be girl dinner because that's how I eat. And people, especially I think women, like grabbed onto it because it was them saying like, it's okay to enjoy something and to just be a girl right now. I don't need to be a functioning member of society. I'm just going to be me. And that's a girl. And then like boy dinner was born out of that. And so then there was the boy dinner side of it. So I think that you can be anywhere in there between the girl dinner. If you're feeling a girl dinner that night, if you're feeling a boy dinner that night, like it's a beautiful way to kind of exist and just let yourself enjoy.
I can't believe you tracked her down. Hands-free. Also, can we just, I didn't know you'd done this. What happened here?
We're journalists, reliable source. We're not going to tell you nonsense. We're going to get the people that came up with it. So in my head, I was like, well, I can talk about trends. I can talk about my take on trends. But I think what's best is to hear from the creator. Was this gendered? She said, no, it's not gendered. I'm a girl, so I called it girl dinner. She said sometimes when her boyfriend comes home, he's like, hey, what are you having for dinner? You having a girl dinner tonight? And it's just something fun that they talked about because she's a girl, so she called it girl dinner because she coined it. And it's similar to Meg Thee Stallion where she says, you know, hot girl summer. I'm a girl. Like, they are women, come on. But they're, you know, having fun. They're inner girl, you know? And they're saying that's how I identify and this is why I'm coining it that way. But it's for anyone to enjoy if they want to enjoy it. Are these trends promoting stereotypes? They could be. On purpose, maybe not. Did girl dinner promote stereotypes? I think it actually defied stereotypes that women belong in the kitchen because they were not cooking.
Girls can't cook.
Shoving it on.
Get me out of the kitchen. I'm taking 1 grape, 1 square of cheese. By the way, guys, if you're looking for another podcast to get obsessed with over the festive period, you should try out Murder They Wrote with Laura Whitmore and Ian Sterling.
It's true crime, it's mystery, it's drama. The world's craziest crime stories, and it's on BBC Sounds. So you better go subscribe.
So you just got back from holiday, but not to out you as a holiday goer regularly, but you also went to the south of France this year.
Okay.
Talk to me about that.
You know, I was trying really hard to get some Beyonce tickets. I just wanted to see the Queen so I can tell, my grandchildren in 2085, oh, when I was younger, there was Beyonce and I went to see her. And I slacked. Like, I tried to go to London, that's the nearest place to me, and then I thought Sunderland. Tried Sunderland, missed out on Sunderland. Also thought Sunderland's a bit far. And then I was just like, you know what? South of France, Marseille. Boom, got the tickets. I'm going to Marseille.
So Sunderland was too far, but Marseille was fine.
Girl math. I was like, you know what? Marseille, there's beaches there.
Yeah.
I'm making it a whole holiday. Bish, bash, bosh.
Bish, bash, bosh. And you were one of many. Why was 2023 the year of concerts? All of my friends have gone to like a massive concert this year. And there have been obviously two major ones, Taylor Swift's Eras Tour and Beyonce's Renaissance Tour. So Taylor Swift has done 146 tour dates on her Eras Tour.
Wow.
She must be tired. And Beyonce has done 56 dates on the Renaissance Tour. You went to Renaissance, but you didn't go to
I went
Eras.
to Renaissance, but can I just mention something about Beyonce?
Absolutely, babes.
That woman was doing acrobatics on the stage. No, the dance moves, the costume changes, everyone there was obsessed. We were all there. It was like you found your people.
You found a
You
tribe.
found some people with MCS, main character syndrome, all in one place.
So the Renaissance Tour was estimated to make over $500 million, and the Eras Tour was estimated to make over $1 billion.
Power to the people.
Power to the people. And people in the crowds dressed for the concert. Like, it wasn't just like, oh, you're going to Beyonce concert tonight. You would know if they were going, because they'll be in their sparkly disco hat. They would be in their like flared pants, the little cowgirl kind of vibe. There was uniforms for these concerts.
I was wearing like a metallic corset with this really long skirt. I looked so cute. I wore these like super spaceship sunglasses vibe. Even when we were outside, everyone was taking pictures. Everyone was like, hey, hey. Everyone was chatting. I didn't need to even introduce myself. They knew me. They knew me.
This is the thing, because I think
they weren't
this
even
is
speaking
new...
English.
It brings you together with the French people. I think, like, it has been a thing before with previous concerts. There's been like a little, like,
Harry Styles did.
Yeah, a little nod to it. But Taylor Swift had the friendship bracelets that she was telling people to bring. So like everyone would bring a bracelet and they'd swap it with other people at the concert. Harry Styles had the feather boas and like the flares. Like, there is just a uniform, and I feel like that's something we haven't seen in such a big scale before.
Yeah. Coming home on the tube, everyone was in feather boas.
Yeah.
Everyone was in cowgirl hats, like the pink ones.
Yeah.
And I was like, what on earth is going on? And then I realised Harry Styles.
But it's also like such a good marketing thing, because if you can release an album and a concert and have a thing that goes with it that makes everyone go and like buy your merch or whatever, like, that's so genius.
And it's also good because when you dress up and you like the way you're dressed, you're more likely to take the
pics, you
photos,
promote,
post it on Instagram.
Yeah. So it makes it like a whole spectacle rather than before. I feel like you would just go to a gig and it was like you've gone to the gig to watch the performer, but now it's like you're putting on a performance to go to the gig. You're dressing up almost as the performer. You're taking your pics. Like, do you know what I mean?
This is what I said.
Everyone that goes there is putting on a show rather than going to see a show.
Everyone is a main character, regardless of whether they actually are Taylor Swift or Beyonce or Harry Styles.
Yeah.
To themselves, they are the superstar.
Yeah.
And they're coming to watch. And even when I saw this interview with Dua Lipa, and she was talking about how she used to be a fangirl. And I think fangirls are like, if Dua Lipa, just a couple of years ago, was a little fan like
It's like
me.
Lil Nas X. He was a Nicki Minaj stan account.
Oh my God.
He literally was a stan. And
Lil
now he's the
Nas.
superstar. Yeah.
Yeah, because that's the thing. So people are like, I am a superstar in my own right.
Yeah.
I'm not going to turn into a superstar.
Yeah.
I am a star. No one knows yet. I'm just going to keep being me.
But I think
and then I'm
this
gonna get
says
there.
about us this year that, like, obviously social media's been around for ages, but this year I feel like we're just perceived all the time and everything has to be a show. Do you know what I mean? Everyone's just like, I'm going to Beyonce, so everyone needs to know I'm going and everyone needs to see my outfit. And I don't know whether that's a good thing or a bad thing. It's a bit of fun. People love to dress up. But it's also like, whoa. Do we need to be so performative all the time?
I do think, though, that after COVID, where we were locked inside and we weren't able to have that sense of community in the way that you can find at these concerts where you all are loving one thing, which is the
Yeah, it's
music, then it's like, I'm not going to like hold back anymore. I'm just going to be like myself to the core. I'm going to dress up. I'm going to really experience this.
Yeah.
There's a cost of living crisis at the moment. And this is something that I'm spending my money and my time on.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to go all out. And I think maybe that's the mentality at the moment. So who would you be invested to go? Who, if they did like this massive global tour, who would you dress up, do the whole drama?
I think the only person that could get me there is Ariana Grande. And Miss Girl's been missing for years. So if she came back, she's actually in the studio apparently. She came back with an album and had a whole aesthetic with it. Best believe I'm heading to the shops and I'm buying it.
Are you going to buy a ponytail?
I'm buying the pony. I'll wear the jumper with the sleeves.
Yeah,
like
the sleeves.
Boots and a big jumper. I'll be there. You'll see me.
I can imagine you. Everyone and their mum is talking about AI, and there's been this trend about Marge
stop
Simpson, going to Turkey to get new teeth.
I
Have you
was
seen it?
I was sent one Marge Simpson AI video, and I watched it till the end. It was a little picture swipe. And I have now, literally, I cannot escape them.
So basically, if you haven't seen this before, it's Marge Simpson as a UK hun doing normal UK hun things.
Yeah.
So she's like watching Love Island. She's like doing her laundry. She's gone to the pub after work. Her boyfriend's cheating on her. She's like putting on her story, don't trust a guy with blue hair and thick glasses. Is his name Millhouse or something?
Yeah.
And I'm just like, this is so odd, but it's AI generated.
So the AI makes the picture of Marge, basically.
Yes, and then people are posting it and making their own captions.
Narrating
and
it
like,
as if they're Marge.
As if they're Marge. And I love it. I'm living for it. And like Marge is in Uggs and she's in an Adidas tracksuit, all sorts of things. And it is just bizarre. I didn't expect it. And I just feel like this year we've just seen so much AI. Like, AI's been around for a while now, but this year it's become so accessible. And I think it's because of ChatGPT-4. Like, people are using that. And like, even Snapchat, my AI. So people are on Snap. And like, do you remember that girl that said her boyfriend was cheating on her?
No, stop.
With the Snapchat AI bot. I mean,
really bad.
We've just seen so much AI, and like students, like I did this video about Ed Daniels. He made this bot that detects if you've used AI in your schoolwork. And then I made this TikTok video for BBC News on TikTok, and all the comments were like hating on him, like, damn, I cheat on my homework all the time. We don't like you, Ed. And like Ed, you know, I actually got in touch with Ed afterwards. He actually found me and was like, kids are kind of mad at me. And I was like, oops. So yeah, a lot of students are using AI to cheat on their homework. And BBC News actually went to Liverpool this year to ask some students about how they use AI.
We were learning about America. I understood the content, and then I put it into this amazing AI tool where it generated a quiz for me. So I just kept on revising that quiz.
When you're doing homework, there's no teaching in the classroom, so it's like a teacher when you're at home.
Have you guys ever used AI to cheat in schoolwork or to write an entire piece of work for you?
I got it to write a creative writing English assignment.
I used it in a geography assignment that was due next period. I didn't know anything about it. And then I got caught by the teacher later on.
So some of the kids were talking about how, like, just before the lesson, they would put like their homework into AI and then just get a generated essay or whatever. That kind of reminds me of back in the day. Did you ever like copy and paste from Wikipedia and the teacher would be like, you copied from Wikipedia? It's really changed.
It's a more sophisticated version of that, Ours was probably so bait and theirs is actually quite like slick.
Wikipedia wasn't even like proper knowledge. Anyone could like edit it. But anyways.
The other boy was saying that he put in all this information and then it generated a quiz and then he revised from the quiz. That's really smart. I hadn't even thought about that.
Exactly.
So that's not cheating, that's just revision. But that's like, work smart, not harder.
And it really like saves people a lot of time. So it looks like a lot of young people are using AI at school to kind of help themselves. And a lot of people did put their hand up to say that they've used it to cheat in the past. But they're not the only ones. And even in Hollywood, writers and actors, they've been on strike because some people are afraid that the AI would take parts of their job.
Yeah, there's arguments about whether it should be used in education, but then also whether it should be used in entertainment. Because even the other day I was watching a clip on TikTok of this woman talking and half the comments were like, I think this is AI, I don't think this is real. And like, I think the lines are going to get so blurred of like people knowing whether something's real or not.
And that's something that's like problematic about AI is the fact that people can make these deep fakes, and that's basically when they can like make a replication of a real person and make them say things that they didn't actually say in real life, but it does look quite real. But one video I find particularly quite funny that's a deep fake, I mean it's so obvious, is Barack Obama merged into Ice Spice. Ice Spice,
so ridiculous,
is doing a Genius music interview, and they've edited Barack Obama's face and his voice and merged it in, so he's singing an Ice Spice song like, you know, yeah, I'm a baddie.
Yeah.
And it's not him. It's not Barack Obama at all. It's literally AI.
That's the thing.
But it just looks so real.
It does. And loads of my TikTok at the moment is AI covers of stuff. So I had one the other day of Queen Elizabeth like singing this song. And like, that's kind of the funny side of it when you have like these weird mashups. But then that does easily tip over into like, I actually don't know if this is real. Obviously not if it's like Barack Obama singing Ice Spice, but like, especially with elections coming up, it could get really messy if people don't know what's real and don't trust what's real.
It's so interesting that you mentioned the elections, because next year is going to be a big deal, because a quarter of the world's population will be voting in elections. There's a lot of elections going on, so we're not quite sure what's going to be out there in the AI world, what's going to be put on our feeds, what's going to be true, what's going to be fake, but we will be checking here on The Reliable Source.
We're here for you.
We're here for you.
Guys. Don't worry. Okay, time for a little interruption of our little duo vibe going on here, because we've actually got a special guest on the pod. Jordan, Theresa, welcome along. You are a YouTuber. You do these really cool, I actually love your videos, so this is just a little moment for me. You do like video essays and kind of like analysis of stuff, would you say?
Yeah, basically any sort of like pop culture things, internet trends, things like that. It's really, really fun. I really, really enjoy it to like pick apart and analyse different things and like phenomenons which seem very like inconsequential, but I feel like there's like a lot to say to them. Do you know what I mean?
Well, that's kind of what we're trying to get to the bottom of this episode. Is like, what was 2023 all about? Like, what did it stand for? What were the biggest things? What were the trends?
Iconic moments.
So what
stands out to you?
What was your one thing that you were like, I'm obsessed with this year?
My one thing was the girl that ate 48 oysters on a first date. I cannot stop thinking about her. I think she's amazing. But just for anyone who's not in the know, does not know what happened, this girl, again, she wasn't like an influencer or anything. She just posted a TikTok saying, this guy's been bugging me for time to take me out on a date. So I agreed to go. So I agreed to go. So she's vlogging the entire thing for TikTok on her phone. And she's like, I decided to go to this like seafood oyster bar. It's my favourite. It's so good. So we're like, Slay, take me along. Thank you. And then she orders some oysters. And we're like, oh, delicious. She's like, the guy's just having some drinks, oysters. 1 sharing plate comes along, eats the whole 2, 3. Then she ate 4 sharing plates of oysters. Not only that, but with filming it with the flash on. I thought that was the most outrageous part. That was more outrageous than eating 48 oysters.
In the restaurant, just
flash on going.
The celebs are amazing. Have a listen.
Y'all, when the 4th one came out, he was looking at me crazy. I'm like, baby, you invited me out. I'm gonna eat.
Queen behaviour.
Oh my God. Queen behaviour. The hot sauce, nails done.
Do you know what? I actually don't know what's more weird, like eating 48 oysters or going on a date and filming the entire thing. She's not even talking to the man. She's just going,
But like,
why?
You know, it's become kind of normal now. I feel like I've seen like vloggers like put their camera tripod on the table. They're on a date, they're filming it, and the date's a bit uncomfortable, but I guess it's a one-sided date. It's sad. It's a sad first date. It's a one-sided date, and I'm getting my oysters.
She said, "I'ma eat."
Yeah, I'ma eat, and she got.
You invited me out. I'ma eat. So valid.
Incredible. Like, because at first I was, I went through all the stages of emotion. At first I was shocked. And then my shock turned into amazement and respect.
Yeah.
Like, because not only does it take like general physical strength to back 48 oysters, but also it takes a lot of pride, a bit of audacity in a way to do that on a first date. She doesn't care, and I love that for her.
She had no intention of getting to know that man. She was trying to get to know that food.
Maybe she didn't want to sit in the restaurant alone. I don't know, but I think if I was going to eat 48 oysters, I'd rather do it alone.
So we don't actually ever see this guy, the guy on the date, at all.
No, so she films her plate. It's basically her POV.
To be fair, that's not that weird, because I feel like if you are on a first date, are you going to film the person on the date? You don't even know them.
Yeah.
But then
But then some people in the comments were like, is she even on a date? Like, is this just fake? Because no one would do this on a date. And I saw quite a few people being like, there's no one there. And then I saw one guy make a TikTok saying, oh, it was me that was there. I was the date. And then it very quickly was like, no, it wasn't.
Oh my God.
People do that a lot.
Yeah, people him. And then people are like, no, you're not.
Yeah, they cling on to it. So their video goes viral. So they hear another side of the story. But it's interesting because we've not heard from the real guy that was on this date, if there was one.
Rolling Stone did the journalism that we all need, and they they like investigated the 48 Oysters, and they rang up the restaurant that she'd gone to and asked whether this woman was on a date, and they confirmed that she did order the 48 Oysters and that there was someone else there, like there was a guy there.
Queen, I knew she would lie about that.
She was, you know, according to Rolling Stone sources, she was on a date. And she did order all the oysters. It's true. Fact check.
It was almost too authentic for it to be set up. If I found out that was all fake, I would abandon everything that I believed in.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
She's activated.
Because that was so, like, she didn't think she was doing anything.
Yeah, you could even see the way that it was very close to the food, like the flash. Like it wasn't
a high production value prank. Yeah.
But I feel like it does raise the question of what do you think you guys could eat 48 of in one sitting?
Interesting.
Wait, how big can the item be? I've actually never eaten an oyster.
You can't.
So like, I don't know how like filling it is.
Yeah, I've never had an oyster either, but I was talking to Jack about it.
Kind of like that's mussels. You can have a lot of mussels though. To be honest, they actually in France you can just buy like a whole massive bowl.
But I do feel like mussels, it's like you eat them. Oysters, you just swallow them. Don't you?
You just slap it straight down.
Or
I could do spring rolls, potential chicken wings if they're good.
48 though.
48.
You've actually got to take that in. Like
I could do it. It would be harsh on the stomach, but I probably could.
Yeah.
I think I'd go gyozas.
That's another good one.
Yeah, she had quite a lot last night.
I did have quite a lot yesterday. I was actually in a cab, like dipping them in the sauce. I was kind of giving oyster.
She's really going for it.
Yamming them down. Yeah.
I could easily chocolate fingers.
That's a great shout.
I don't know whether that counts as cheating or not, but it is funny that whenever I tell people I'm like, oh, chocolate fingers, they're like, oh yeah, because like
no, because when you eat one, you literally physically can't stop.
And also, has anyone gone through that experience of like, I don't know whether anyone else's parents do this, but you know, like 2 months before Christmas, you open a bottle of Fanta and it's like, that's the Christmas Fanta, you can't touch that, and it's like, oh, you know what, I'll just have a few chocolate fingers. You won't even notice they're gone, and next thing you know, the whole packet is gone.
This video got so many views, didn't it? It was originally on TikTok, but I saw it posted on like Twitter, loads of places, Instagram. What were the funniest posts you saw about it, or like what did people say in general?
I remember someone described it as uncouth.
Okay, yeah.
Which really made me laugh. But the overall vibe was like, honestly, just shock and amazement. I feel this is a good thing about TikTok is that you truly like get exposed to the most insane things. People are invested in just regular people.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I was more invested in 48 Oysters than I was in any celebrity breakups this year. The bloody eyebrow gate with Kylie Jenner. I did not care about that, but I cared about the girl that ate 48 oysters on a first date. Do you know what I mean?
It's a good story, I guess.
I think she needs to meet someone who would love her for her 48 oysters.
Yeah.
Speaking of oversharing and overexposure and TMI, earlier this year, well, right at the start of the year actually, we had Prince Harry's book released. Do we remember, ladies?
Spare.
It genuinely feels like a lifetime ago.
It feels
I cannot
so
believe
long ago,
it was
doesn't
when I was researching for my 2023 wrap up. I could not believe that Spare was this year.
Yeah. So it was January, and basically he released his autobiography, all about his life, and we just got a real peep behind the curtain of the royals that we have never seen before. Like the royals, sometimes you get a little bit of what's going on, and like the Crown obviously tries to like give us a bit of the goss, but honestly this was like nothing I've seen before. And it really just broke down a wall, and let's just remind ourselves.
I'd been trying some home remedies, including one recommended by a friend. She'd urged me to apply Elizabeth Arden cream. My mum used that on her lips. You want me to put that on my todger? It works, Harry, trust me. I found a tube, and the minute I opened it, the smell transported me through time.
For context, in that clip, he's talking about having a frostbitten penis because he'd just been on an expedition to the North Pole. So he was at William and Kate's wedding, and someone told him to put Elizabeth Arden cream on the Todger.
Do you know that I didn't even know what a Todger is?
Really
Do people
good.
call it that?
I mean, Harry does.
I hadn't heard the word Todger used, but I used like context clues. I was like, oh, you want me to put it on my Todger? I thought it was... I didn't even remember anything else that was really said in the book. I do think it's interesting that he's like a very famous royal. Like he's going to be the future king. He's future king's brother, the spare, if you will. So I think it's interesting that we got like a tell-all memoir from him, and I do genuinely think that it is going to set off a trend of like generations beneath him are going to be like, oh, he did it. That
was
means
kind of
I
broken
can
the
do it
barrier,
too.
yeah. Which was the wild thing about it. Like, I never thought in my lifetime you'd get an autobiography being sold in Waterstones of Prince Harry.
Yeah.
So it wasn't just the Todger and the Elizabeth Arden cream. He also told the story of losing his virginity behind a pub in a field. There were some details there. He said he got spanked. Really didn't leave much to the imagination on that story. It was an older woman.
Something to do with a horse? She loves horses or something?
There was some details about how that affected their experience. We also heard about his claims of beef with William, because it's something that's like rumoured about a lot, but we heard his side of the story about their kind of relationship and the fights and arguments they've had. And he has that line, do you remember the line where he's like, his alarming baldness more advanced than my own? Wow. Unnecessary shots.
I'm kind of obsessed with siblings, though. You say the most outrageous stuff to your siblings.
You've got to, you know where it hurts them, you know?
Basically, the whole thing with the royals has always been like, no one really knows. You know, they're always going to look like a unit when they're stood doing whatever they're doing. But this was just like, okay, Harry, tell us everything.
I think that it brought up like an interesting conversation about consent. Do you know what I mean? I think a lot of people are struggling to wrap their heads around someone wanting, not wanting their privacy invaded by the press and things like that, but at the same time releasing a memoir to tell his side of the story. Yeah. A lot of people didn't understand. They thought it was a juxtaposition, like a juxtaposition, there's like a word where it like contradicts the other, which I don't actually necessarily think is true.
Also, he's had a lot of like issues with newspapers telling his story for him, so I think this may have been an opportunity for him to kind of just say it straight. Him signing off, this is the truth, rather than the things that people write about me.
My other favourite thing about this is that he released the audiobook and he voiced it himself, so he literally had to read out all these wild sentences he'd written. And do you remember everyone was screen recording them and putting them on Twitter? That's how like loads of people heard like some of the funniest bits. And people also writing tweets being like, fake news articles being like, Harry has said blah blah blah. And there was one that went so viral, even a newspaper wrote it up, and it said that Harry had said that the Jamaican artist Shenseea had got him through dark times. And like this random person just wrote the tweet, and like these newspapers fell for it. Everyone was like, oh my God, I can't believe this. So funny.
She posted an Instagram picture as well. So, like Queen, saying
everyone
that she
believed
is
it. Everyone believed it. That is not true. That is not in the book. He didn't say it. It was a joke tweet, okay?
And you know what? I always diss my grandparents for believing everything they read online. But some of those clips were so convincing.
Top of the year, babes. Oh
With that, the 2023 season comes to an end. That's my whole TikTok.
Yeah, literally.
Thank you very much to our lovely guest, Jordan Theresa, for coming on.
Thanks, girl. Thank you.
How is your 2024 going to go? What's your biggest prediction or your biggest hope for the next year?
The clean girl aesthetic is out for 2024. That's what I think, okay? We're kind of leaving this picture perfect Instagram to a more realistic, grotty way of life.
Because I feel like we're going past Y2K to like what, Y210K, whatever, 2010. I want the fishnet gloves and the ties back, the little gloves, fingerless gloves and ties. That's what I'm hoping for.
Ever coming back.
In 6 months, you'll be sat here with your little fishnets on.
That's giving Disney Channel Camp Rock
Exactly.
vibe. The knees.
The skirt with the jeans underneath.
No, that is not coming back.
It
is too gothic. We're just not in that vibe.
That's what they said about the Uggs.
But what will be making a comeback is reliable source. Yes, you heard it here first, guys. It's gonna be a lot next year. There's a lot going on. The diary is booked.
From mid-Jan, we will be back with season 2. We're gonna be here every week. as always, giving you the goss, giving you the juice, giving you the drama that's going on in the news.
And we're on YouTube. You guys asked, we will deliver.
I did.
So you can watch us, you can see us, and we'll be with ya.
Wherever you're watching or listening, subscribe. Bye.
Don't miss us too much.
Always get your news from
a reliable source.
Thanks for watching, guys. And now that you've finished watching this, I think you should go and check out Murder They Wrote with Laura Whitmore and Ian Sterling.
Head to BBC Sounds for murder, mayhem, and more.
And make sure you subscribe to the BBC Sounds YouTube channel as well. Bye.
See ya.